The inspiration of the great man that was Wesley Abraham Marriott, and this is from the heart. Wes was undoubtedly a social animal. He was always on the go, and undoubtedly a proper people person. There wasn't enough hours in the day for Wes. He was always out and about, and he loved life, and he loved people from all walks of life. He was consistently, regularly out and about in Loughborough Town Centre. He constantly and naturally volunteered to be involved socially, mixing it and being all things to all people. As a young man, he regularly visited the Shack snooker hall, where his lifelong Dave Temple was manager there. Wes was unique. God broke the mould when he made Wes. He was a lovely, unique character. There will never be another like him. Wes was a good Christian, and his faith was strong. He definitely sowed more than he ever personally reaped, and he was generous to the core. He knew how to have fun, yet he kept all his antics in the right perspective. I hope I can do the lad, as I called him, justice. To those of us that thought we could not cope, Wesley, by his own actions and demeanour, at such a ripe old age, showed the way every day and proved us wrong. To those of us who thought we did not fit in, Wes made sure we found a way of fitting into his close friendship groups, and to always make us feel that we did always belong. To those of us who thought we were fearful and weak, Wes, in his 90s, was a dynamo of energy, and by his own personal example, he showed we could all be strong. To those of us who seemed to place our worth in others' hands, Wesley always made us feel confident that we had a sense of worth, and he made sure we had enough confidence to be our own person and always to be true to ourselves. This was just plain and simply Wes. As we are saying goodbye to Wesley today, I am 100% sure the soul of this great man is already looking down on us all from heaven with that mischievous twinkle he had in his eye. Since the passing of Wesley, a day has not gone by that I have not thought about him. He was so trustworthy. Wes was a listener, and when you confided in him, you could always guarantee he had respectably taken on board everything you discussed and broached with him. Wes was charismatic, popular, and a non-judgmental person, and was never one to keep hold of long grudges. Just as a caveat, that there has been a street person in Loughborough who sits by the town hall selling big issue magazines and trying to gain a few coppers from passers-by. In all weathers, in an act of selfless compassion, Wesley would regularly saunter up to her and hand her a cup of warm coffee. As was Wes, he would just walk off on his merry way. To Wes, again, it was just a natural thing for him to do. Always with a compassionate and helping hand, he was genuinely naturally empathetic and understanding of all and sundry, along with his trademark cheeky twinkle in his eye that was always accompanied with his light, sharp humour. That was what Wes was all about, always looking out for the underdog. That was him all over. He looked out for and was a seeker of the needy, the overworked and stressed, the underpaid, the grafter who never just seemed to get a break in society. And with his Christian compassion, he never let his right hand know what his left hand was doing, and he did his best to give support in every way he could. Those who came his way rapidly knew this, and he invariably held on to a majority of topics with wisdom and was perceptive, if somewhat had embellished opinions. Wesley definitely had time for us all, and most definitely we had time for him, and we all loved his company. He had an infectious personality, and he instinctively gravitated towards thinking of others before himself. And as a former industrial chemist and lifelong scientist, when it came to making an analysis, no one was more thorough than Wesley. Before Wesley passed, I regularly used to talk to him and visit him after my late work shift in the weekdays, and without fail on Saturday evenings. We both used to look forward to this, as Wes was great company and he lived nearby to myself. He always cooked lovely fresh food meals. Fresh salmon was his speciality, and he always cooked it to perfection. And nothing was ever any trouble to Wesley. On Saturday evenings, the first thing Wes did was check how 3 football teams had got on that day: Barrow-in-Furness, Workington AFC and Accrington Stanley. It seemed to me to be a bit of an idiosyncrasy at first as to why Wes was most interested in these teams, which were very small clubs and miles away from the East Midlands. Then I realised the reason was, like all other aspects in Wesley's life, he always favoured and sided with the underdog. He was even known to have helped sponsor Workington AFC's goalkeeper when they were in financial trouble. In his later years, his purpose in life always seemed to be look out for the underdog and to share his incredible wisdom with anybody who showed him an open door and was willing to take on board his good advice. This is why I think God gave Wesley such a long, fruitful life, as he was divinely commissioned as a true giver. May you rest in peace, my close friend. May you be at last with Heather and Jean and the rest of your lovely family. Keep on being Wes, we have always loved so much. Rest in peace, Mr. Wesley Abraham Marriott, former Liberal councillor and alderman of Loughborough. I know you will be very sadly missed by your close friends, Dave Temple, Dale Marriott, Paul Williams, Big Kev and John Haywood. Thank you.
Well, what can I say? What wonderful memories of a man who has truly been an inspiration to so many people. We could do with a lot more people like Wes in this world at the minute, without a shadow of a doubt. What a wonderful, selfless man he's been. Always looking out for other people. How wonderful. And I know that you will have so many more memories of Wes that you carry in your hearts. And of course, the wonderful thing about memories is nobody can ever take them away from you. They're yours to keep. They are yours to treasure. Hold on tight to them, because they will help you over the next few days, months, even years. Cherish all those wonderful times and all the happy memories that you have shared with Wes, because without doubt, he had thought the world of his family and his friends, and that's why you're all here today, because Wes has been an important part of your life, as you all have been in his, and your lives, without doubt, have been so much richer for knowing him. Wes was, and he always will be, a very special person, and he will be deeply missed. But he'll always be loved, and he'll never be forgotten by everyone who knew him. Well, we're going to take a few moments now just to reflect on all our lovely memories as we listen to our next piece of music, Champions theme. It's got a racehorsing theme, so I think you'd approve of that.